What's up, people? This is Martin from Basketball Society. I'm back to talk some more NBA, and we're about to get into the Lakers. If this is your first time here, I want you to go down and click subscribe. Make sure you go down in the comments as we go. All right, so the first question is, I think, the big question everybody keeps going back and forth about. Is this a super team? The only way you're not going to call this a super team is if you've been disrespectful towards Russell Westbrook and or Carmelo Anthony over the last few years. I'm not one of those people. Russell Westbrook is still averaging triple. He averaged 20, 10, and 10 last year. He still averaged a triple-double in Washington. They don't have to still be in their prime for this to be a super team. So again, I'm somebody who still gives Russ that respect. You can go watch the video when Russ got traded to Washington, what I was saying about him and what he would do there.
I still think he can play well and get 20 points on any NBA team right now. I mean, he can still do that.
Russell Westbrook is still that kind of player. You put him with LeBron and Anthony Davis, that's a big three. I'm not talking about name recognition. I'm talking about just purely on basketball. Russell Westbrook gave the Lakers a big three. You're not going to call it a super team. I mean, you shouldn't. You can't. If you've been disrespectful to Russell Westbrook or Carmelo Anthony. Like, if they were in their primes, this would be a whole different look. Russ and LeBron are still playing such high level basketball. They're still both like high level athletes. They're still, just last season, they're both finishing at the rim still. It's not like they're like old men, bro. Like Russell Westbrook with LeBron and AD, and then you add Carmelo Anthony. So yeah, this is a super team, and it's okay. This is the super team era. We've seen super teams almost every year for the last like decade or so. I don't know. Big threes, super teams, team ups. It's okay. So that gets me to the next question. Are the Lakers, and should the Lakers be the favorites to win it all? I still feel like pound for pound, everyone healthy, I feel like Brooklyn is the favorite. The little bit of we saw of them with all three of them healthy, and then even with just two of them really healthy, how good they looked, and then even with just one of them healthy with KD, like how far they took Milwaukee in the playoffs. They have an advantage of having at least played a year together. LA's gonna be it's gonna be their first year together. I feel like they're the favorites in the West. My third question, which is really probably the most important one: what kind of basketball are the Lakers gonna play? You get Russell Westbrook, you're gonna get faster. My main thing is that they're gonna be faster by pitching the ball ahead. Russ usually gets most of his assists, I feel like, really getting into the teeth and getting dump offs. I feel like that ball, that pitch ahead pass is gonna happen a lot. And I feel like LeBron is the only kind of, not the only, but probably one of the only players that Russ has the kind of real respect for, that he might actually defer to in certain moments. Like, I mean, Russ would defer to Harden, but the best way for the Lakers to work is if there's that camaraderie. It's not just I do what I do and you do what you do. Like, there has to be obviously an understanding of a certain level of ball movement, a certain level of, you know, pitching the ball ahead, getting the ball inside to AD, who is still, to me, the most important piece of this whole thing. What made the Lakers so successful and what Frank Vogel does is defense. That's something the Lakers are really going to need, is like his defensive, not just intensity, but discipline. Just the simple things, rotating. I mean, you know, Russ will block shots, he'll help over, he'll do that stuff. So as if they're locked in as a unit defensively, that's going to be big. That's how they won 2 years ago. Rondo gave them that extra punch, but it's like Rondo, you know, like, I mean, him playing with LeBron was almost like unfair to me, like just playmaking wise. Russ gives them the scoring punch. Russ is going to push the ball, tally up their assists and stuff, but Russ is also a scoring threat and a real scoring option off the bounce and off the dribble. I feel like I saw LeBron say something about how, like, the discussion that they had, LeBron, Westbrook, and AD, about them playing together, how LeBron will need to buy into sliding down to the four, really letting Westbrook take over the point guard situation, because they've been playing LeBron mainly at point, and AD has to play more minutes at the five. If you have a LeBron AD 4-5 with Westbrook at point,
good luck.
That's the makings of a very dangerous offense. LeBron as like your playmaking four in two-man game with Westbrook, I don't care if they're not in their prime. They're gonna kill people with that. So defensively is gonna be really important. And again, with their fillers, they've picked up players that buy in on that side of the floor. They're working on having their two-way players. The kind of basketball they can play can be Showtime Lakers, very much so. Russ can push and dunk on you. LeBron can push and dunk on you. AD can push and dunk on you. They're all, you know, good enough passers. Like Westbrook is not a Rondo, but Russ passes the ball. He gets high assists. You know, look, I'm not one to say like tamper down Russell Westbrook. Let him be who he is. Even if you're not letting him, he's going to be who he is, right? But that can help you, especially when he's with alongside of LeBron. Listen, LeBron is not Paul George. He's not James Harden. He's not Kevin Durant. This is a different level for Russell Westbrook. He's had a lot of great teammates. I know. I have seen all the graphics of all the great teammates he's had, and that's great. None of them are LeBron. You're part of a championship culture. So let's see if that has any influence on, again, not saying Russell Westbrook has to change, just in the kind of basketball that he plays, because that's going to really determine how elite and how much of a super team the Lakers actually are. Make sure you give this video a like and go down in the comments and answer any of the questions I posed about the Lakers. Do you think they're a super team? Should they be the favorites to win? And what kind of basketball should they play? Are they going to play? Do you think that they should play? Let me know in the comments. Stay tapped in with me, and I'll see you guys next time. August, Lakers at the senior citizen squad. By All-Star break, bro, LeBron really needed a super team to win. Bro, Lakers in trouble. They're too old and the big three can't shoot. Then it'll be something historical if they win the title, right? Hell no, they a super team anyway. Laker haters need to pick a side. It's retirement home 1 minute and then super team another. Nonetheless, Lakers in 4.